Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I am Heather. We have our co-host, Tania. This is Alter the Podcast. And we're here exploring the Radiant Sutras, specifically Sutra number 5 today, but we're going to take it in our own somewhat rebellious, because, that's just a part of who we are at heart. We got to take the things, the teachings, and then we thread it through our own lived embodied experience, and then usually something slightly different comes out. And I think that's why Tania and I love each other so much, because we read the thing and we're like, you know what, Sutra 5 is kind of about the chakras, however you want to say it, and we're not into it right now to talk about that. So we're going to take this and we're going to talk about another layer, which is about the senses and about subtle sensing and big sensing. And I'm so excited because this is definitely one of those foundational teachings of instinctive meditation. And Tania, tell us a little bit about, what sense really lights you up. If there's one of your, we'll just say the 5 senses, because as we know from Lauren, there's, he's explained, we have charts of 21 senses or 30 senses. I mean, there's a variety, there's a whole full spectrum of sensory experience, but those base 5 that we know our hearing and our seeing and our touching and our smelling and our tasting. So which of those do you tend to be more delighted by? And let's start there today.
Yeah, I love this. I love this inquiry. And I think this is a wonderful inquiry for each one of us to get involved in. Anyone who's listening, and yourself and myself, what is the sense that I really enjoy, that I can really lean into? And honestly, for me, more and more, I feel these days, it's the sense of smell. Because when I smell a jasmine flower, or I'm passing by the kitchen and I've put something in the oven, or I walk by a bakery and I smell something, or even a cup of coffee, oh my God. The sense of smell immediately takes you to your childhood, to an experience, to a moment in time that is forever locked in the memory box of your brain. And for me, I love that. I think Dutch was huge for me before. And I love one of Lauren's teachings, which is things are going to keep changing. You're going to have a preference, whether it's the elements or the senses. There's always going to be a preference in the style of meditation that you're going to explore. And senses is one of his basic primary invitations to meditation in all his teachings. So yeah, for me, I definitely embrace the sense of smell deeply. How about you, Heather?
I love that reminder that it is always changing, because it's very true for me. But as of late, I've been just enthralled with music. Music is just there's just some songs that, it's I really feel like they're feeding me. They're giving me the thing that I need in that moment. It helps me to either sink into the state that I'm already in, or shift state. And there's been a few songs, there's songs that are very, there's almost they're not Sanskrit mantras. It's in English, but it's very affirmative. And I've been putting that on in the morning as I'm coming out of for my meditation, as I'm coming out of it, and just feels like it's filling the air again with this substance that I'm breathing in and just filling up with to start my day. And it's full sensory, because it's the hearing, but I'm also very aware of what it feels like in my body, whether it's a super electric song, I'm dancing around and it gives me that sort of juice, or it's something that that makes me feel more grounded and calm inside to prepare for the podcast or prepare for teaching, and holding space for people. I'm fascinated by the sensory experience and how intense it can be. the most amazing orgasm or how subtle it can be, which is a part of what we wanted to explore a little bit today with this word. Can you say the word for us? Because I feel like you're like, I love how you speak the Sanskrit. It's my favorite.
Sukshma. Sukshma.
Sukshma. Let's say it together. The Sukshma.
Subtle, minute, small, fine, thin, narrow, short, feeble, trifling. Sukshma has a range of meanings, including insignificant, unimportant. This is a teaching. And Lauren goes on to write, what you are looking for is right here, but it looks insignificant to you. And I actually want to just riff on something you said when you were sharing, which really caught my attention. And I feel like it's such a beautiful invitation, Heather, when you said when you're listening to music and it nourishes you, it really feeds you. Knowing that the known and yet to be known senses are really our access points to the world that we inhabit, the world that we live in. The only way we know the world we're in is by what we see and what we touch and how it tastes and how we feel and how it smells and all of that, right? This is our way of knowing the world that we're living in. And we're living these extremely rapid-paced lives in which we're not really listening when someone is speaking. We're not really stopping to smell the coffee or the roses, and all such maxims that have been created for this very purpose, that we're not taking the time to indulge. And what,
Can we just the time to indulge, like to take the time to indulge, like that could be a definition of meditation.
There you go.
To take the time to indulge. Sorry, I just had it. It was like that. Just was, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, because what you said was such an inspiration to me when you said that I let the music nourish me. You're making and taking the time to let that music seep into your bones, to let it nourish and make you feel all the good stuff that you're feeling through it. And similarly, if I'm walking past a bakery or I'm, it reminds me of my grandmother's cooking, or something that I caught a whiff of is reminding me of a moment with my lover or some such thing, or a cologne or a scent I felt on his skin. It's so incredible to stay there for just a brief fraction of a moment and draw it in. Actually, I feel subconsciously we do that anyway, but we do a lot of incredibly intelligent and amazing things subconsciously. And meditation is making the subconscious conscious. It's taking those hidden workings of the brilliance of the brain and the mind and bringing it to the
and your
surface.
Inner preferences, right? These are preferences that we already have.
Yes.
And bringing, and it's like
becoming
tuning
conscious.
into it. Exactly. It's stuff, it's already there. And you may even, it's all there. And you have a second, maybe 2 seconds, or it's just a noticing, right? It could be a millisecond. You're already noticing it, like the bakery, like we all, like, it's like, even for all of us right now, let's consider the smell, like the last time, or it could be right now in this moment, or even just yesterday, like that smell that you noticed that was just somewhat pleasing to you. And I feel like hopefully my idea, right, with this sorority is like, we all have something, whether it was yesterday or a week ago, or just the memory of it, but, and seeing yourself there. And did you linger, or was it just a split second of time?
It brings a smile.
Right.
And so if it brings a smile to your face, then what if you opened your awareness to, well, like Heather said, well, let this nourish me, let this feed me. or as you smell something that reminded you of someone's perfume, or the memory, or you saw something that triggered a chain of memories inside you, and it took you to a place that you have loved to go to, or you close your eyes and your beloved touched you, and that touch made you feel like you were laying on the soft sands on a beautiful Caribbean island, or wherever it took you, to be there, and then to open up the imagination to really draw the juice, the benefit, the healing, the medicine of what your senses are showing you in that moment, and soothe your very nervous system with it, to just soothe you. Like, often I love what Lauren says. He says it's like a balm to your nerves. It's like a balm to your nervous system. Like
the balm to your nerves.
It's like, just let me apply this onto myself, like melted
most
butter.
luxurious, right? Lotion, the cacao, the melting something, or that, when you're laying in the sun, and that, like, the oil or the lotion, the hot sunscreen, and just, like, it just goes on so smoothly. Like, to allow for our sensory experience to feed us, to nurture us, to nourish us like that. And what is so interesting, and go ahead. Yeah.
No, please carry on.
Well, so what I feel like we're also speaking to, not I feel like, but like what we are speaking to, is this idea that we're kind of talking about this maybe in the day-to-day living, right? So that's a layer of this. This is like a skill that we can bring in to help to calm the balm for our nerves, that continuous feed. We're like feeding ourselves throughout the day by allowing, 10 seconds, 20 seconds of that which you love, that is you're experiencing through your senses, to be with that a little longer. And within the meditation time, right, we can purposely bring that smell in, or that sound in, or we can be in the memory of it. Like you were saying, this idea of visualizing it, right? And we can do it right now. We can invite that into our meditation time, but we don't always have to be directly experiencing that, because the imprints are inside of us. And it's already that knowing of, like, I know what smells I love, and I can imagine bringing that in, or that sound, or that thing, that beautiful bird that I saw, and I was just captivated by it for a few moments. I'm going to re-enter that and let it take me wherever it wants to take me, in that space of what we can say like a formal meditation practice, right?
And I think that's just such a beautiful invitation to meditate on for our listeners and viewers. It's this thing. What is your favorite scent? What is it that you can recall? And what did it remind you of? Where did it take you? What are the imprints of that memory? And can you indulge in that memory? Can you feel the texture, the scent? Can you remember the way the breeze felt on your skin in that moment? Do you remember the touch and the way it made you tingle, or the taste of that fine elixir, or vintage wine, or whatever it was that you enjoyed?
The ripe peach, that most amazing chocolate.
The dark chocolate.
I know, the dark chocolate. Although I know a handful of people are like into the milk chocolate. So if you like the milk chocolate, there's no shame in loving the milk chocolate. Love what you love.
Love what you love.
Please love what you love. But love what you love. Okay. Indulging and loving what you love. Like indulging in that which you love.
I love it.
Instinctive meditation. That is
it. That's it.
But this word indulge, I feel like I don't use that word very often, but I'm like loving that word. Thank you.
And I think I'm going to do this too this week, Heather. I am going to let myself have moments of the memory of something I smelled that I loved, or even the music. What you've said is such a great cue. I'm going to remember this. I'm going to listen to the songs that I've loved over the years, or whatever that just tickles my fancy, and I want to let it nourish me. I want it to, enter me that deeply, and let it nourish my senses. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're going to be in the experiment this week, everyone, of indulgence of a moment, many moments, daily moments, hourly moments of indulging, being with what we love and like indulging with it. I don't know if that's a thing you could say. Being with it.
Indulging
I mean,
in
of course,
it.
the word say indulging in it. Is that, yeah? Indulge. All right.
I'm
We're going to do
indulging
it.
in it.
I'm indulging in this moment.
I'm indulging
With your
in this
beautiful face and in this, like, the feeling, I feel like this effervescence of like, oh, like I want to go out there and like live. I want to like cook the thing just to like to smell it and then to taste it afterwards. And like, wow, I am alive and this breath is feeding me. And now I get to like taste or smell this amazing thing that like I love already just because it's a preference, but like it's like taking it that one, I don't know, step farther, like the wow of it.
The wow
this is living.
It really is.
We have
It's
a
life
body
affirming.
and we're humans. Yeah. The life, it's so life affirming. Oh, so good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any last little bits for little nuggets
I would
before
love
we leave?
for us to explore this. I would love for us all to find the sense, and it could be more than one sense. Maybe today it's the sense of smell, and tomorrow it's going to be the sense of taste. And where does it take you? Where does it take you? Where do you go with it? How does it make you feel?
And then tell us. We want to hear from you. Share with us. Let's inspire each other with that. Like if we share and it, I tend to feel that, right? You read someone does something amazing. It like totally like sparks. You're like, I think I might do that. Or whether you do it or not, but at least gives you that little juice in the moment to like consider doing it. So I think to the
I'll
sharing.
be doing it.
Okay.
I'll be definitely
share about that
indulging in it.
next time. Okay. You're amazing.
My favorite song, and I just want to really let it
feed
and nourish my soul.
Yes. And then also maybe with the movement, like if your body wants to move inside it, like how would your body move because you're so in love with that rhythm, that beat? Does your body want to move or does it want to be still? Right? It's like there's just endless explorations. It's just
I love it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tania. Yeah.
Always a joy.
Let's indulge in a breath together. Let's like close with that. Imagining that most delicious, decadent smell that you just love so much, bringing that in and like you're breathing in a way that you're just taking it in. Thank you, everyone, for showing up with us, for you. It's amazing. So amazing. Have a wonderful day.